Man, melee ensued this whole weekend in college football. And it was rivalry week for so many different teams.
And I will say that other thing, the Maryland-Penn State where the coach was belly aching.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that was ridiculous.
The blowout.
But he put in his 3s and 4s, and they still blew him out, and the coach got mad.
I'm with you, but okay. 12 seconds, just kneel.
No. Those kids are playing at 3s and 4s.
And I'm usually team, if you don't like it, just man up. But that one was extreme. The blowout was happening. It was 12 seconds left. It wasn't like they were on their own 20 and something happened. Like, you're sitting there at the 20. You could just kneel. It's a whole bunch of controversy over the weekend in college sports, specifically college football. So going back to the Ohio State-Michigan game, which obviously is maybe the biggest rivalry in all of college football. Obviously, I'm biased in this. Michigan, big-time underdog, comes into the horseshoe, gets it done, able to get the win, and they go to plant their flag, which had happened a couple of times to them in Ann Arbor in the middle of the stadium. And Ohio State players, they were literally waiting, Rob. Instead of like we took our L, let's go in the locker room, they were waiting deep. It wasn't 4 of them. It wasn't 10 of them. It was like 32. It was like, you bet not. You bet not. In the minute they plant the flag.
They didn't get blown out either. I mean, they lost, and it was a terrible loss.
But that's actually, to me, what made it worse. If they lost 42-40 in a barn burner,
to me, if you lose like that, then you got to walk off, and there's nothing to do.
No, I mean like in a close game, but just a high score. You could be like, man, it was just one of those shootouts. They lost an ugly game. Like you're not supposed to not score. Michigan's supposed to not score. If you lose in a shootout, okay, I get it. It was just one of those games. Dude, they didn't even score. Michigan locked them down. So, but the big issue is the brawl that happens. My thing is this. This has been happening for quite some time now. Maybe you could say the last decade is heightened where we go and plant the flag. Baker Mayfield really made it a big thing. It happened before him, but he made it a big thing where you plant the flag and talk some smack. It kind of reminds me when T.O. went to the Star against the Cowboys. Remember, they ran and they pushed him because he kept going to the Star every time he scored a touchdown. If I'm a coach, I would tell my guys, hey, we're going to go out here, we're going to win, we're going to beat them in the house, we're going to show them we ain't the underdog, we're going to get the job done, beat our rival. I would prefer them not to do this, to go plant the flag, because I don't need any controversy taking away from our huge win. I don't want that. I want it to be, y'all did your thing, you balled out, we beat them when they didn't think we did. I don't want anything taken away from the fact we came in here as a massive underdog and smacked up our rivals 4 years in a row now. That's what I want to be the narrative when we leave this place. But now, of course, it's going to be the flag planting. The other thing is, if you're Ohio State and any other team, North Carolina, when North Carolina State wins, you got to man up and take your L too. But it's like if I put my middle finger right up in your nose, your face, maybe you shouldn't get mad and fight me. But if I do that, I got to be prepared for the fight. And I think that was what Michigan should have known was coming. If you do that, no, you might get smacked in the face. But my bigger issue was with the pepper spray.
Well, but let me say this first before you get into the pepper spray. I think Michigan is naive if you think you're going to do that and it's going to be okay.
You're going to get smacked up.
Like stop acting brand new. Like Ohio State, that was the number 2 team in the country, was going to be okay with.
A big rival too. This isn't just a random school.
And you're coming in 6-5, struggling a terrible, ugly season. Oh yeah, go ahead. You beat us, so we'll just stand here and watch you stick a flag into our field. Like really. I just
4 in a row
that.
too. It's not like
right.
This wasn't Iowa with a random win. Like, all right, whatever, fine, we lost to Iowa. You be mad, but you're losing to.
So I don't understand why they would think that like they're not going to be some friction.
That's what I said. If I put my middle finger right in your face, Rob, yeah, maybe you won't fight me. But if I do that, I have to be prepared. Man, this dude might want to slap me, might want to fight me because I got a middle finger right in his face. But the pepper spray was crazy to see. We've seen fights. We've seen college brawls. Remember when LeGarrette Blount punched somebody? Remember that some years ago? I mean, we've seen brawls. And this one was a big one. But I've never seen pepper spray. I've seen baseball melees. Everybody's dugout clears. And I've never seen macing 19, 20-year-olds.
At least it wasn't salt spray. You know, you don't want the high blood pressure.
There you go. I'm done with you. Get that man a rim shot, Alex.
What?
That one was all right. It was all right. It was all right. I had to think too much.
Everything's not funny.
I had to think too much. But they guess around and got pepper or salt sprayed. I didn't like that because to me, dude, if you bring the police presence in, they're eventually going to, oh, shoot, like, all right, let's relax. There's police here now. And if you also get on the mega horn, stops, break it up. There's other ways before I want to spray.
You don't want it. You would like, right. This is not in a bar where you don't know what the bad guys, who's who.
Man, these guys are on helmets and pads.
They got uniforms on. You know what's going on here. And you would hope that you could break it up without having to. I agree with you.
They pepper spraying some 18, 19-year-old, 20-year-old guys that was way overboard. When historically we've seen these things end just in the matter. You know what I mean? Eventually it'll end. They'll be fine. And yes, a guy, one or two will be bruised up a little bit, but so be it. I didn't like the pepper spray at all. But this is going to be a thing now where I think coaches going into bowl season, going into some of these conference championship games, you're going to have coaches who are going to say, I'm telling you, don't do it. I'm telling you. Don't go do it, because $100,000 fine ain't nothing to Michigan and Ohio State. Do you know how much money these teams make? Is in the big house, 100,000 people. The fine ain't nothing. It's going to be the coaches now moving forward who tell their players, I'm going to suspend you or get at you if you do that, if you go and embarrass us. Because, again, that's taken away from the win now. You get what I'm saying? That's the topic of conversation versus, man, y'all got a really good win against the number 2 team.
Fox, and look, it's Alice from Pittsburgh. You're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Alice?
I don't want Cleveland to win. I'm AFC North, remember?
Yeah. Let him have a rough season, Alice. Let him get something.
Alice, you're having a great year, aren't you?
Yeah, let him get something.
Hey, happy Thanksgiving, guys. I hope you had a good
year.
Same to you. Well, that was my turkey impersonation right there. Did you hear it?
Man, that turkey was definitely about to be on somebody's dinner table. He got strangled.
But Alice, every time you call, I remind you, you didn't.
Don't do it like that. Let her live.
That I talked trash about Russell Wilson. I know. Remember that.
Did you see him throw over 400 yards? Were you impressed?
It was amazing. I was impressed with the whole team today. Yesterday with all of them. The team did great. I'm excited about that. But I know you guys were talking about the planting of the flag. I'm a Notre Dame fan and I hate Ohio State. Yeah. So I did not have an issue with planting the flag. I had an issue with the pepper spray.
Yeah.
If they can do whatever they want. Plant a flag, stand on the logo. Juju Smith-Schuster used to do that on opposing teams. I don't care. But the pepper spray was a little ridiculous.
Yeah.
I think that was horrible. But I don't have an issue with planting the flag. I don't know how you feel
it's
about
not. I'm with you, Alice. You can plant the flag, but be ready for some pushback.
The smoke is coming.
Oh, yeah.
That's all.
I agree with that, too. You know what? What do you think of George Pickens and fighting with everybody?
Well, he's always fighting with somebody. Thank you for the call, Alice. And he's by the way, he's been really, really good at times. Also, kind of had some bonehead moments as well. I do want to go back quickly though to the whole planting the flag thing. The biggest thing we agree on is it's gonna happen. You got a bunch of 19-year-olds who are hopped up on testosterone, excited they got a big rivalry win. But you can't walk up in there and expect somebody's house and not expect to get slapped.
Don't you remember when T.O. did it on the Star in Dallas?
That's what I mentioned, yeah. 3 times because he had 3 touchdowns that game. Right. He kept coming back, and finally one of, I think it was Roy Williams,
came up there.
Was pushed him in the back. Like, nah, bro.
You ain't doing that here, right?
Everybody, man, just beat him. I hear you. And in theory, I get it. Just beat him and it wouldn't happen. Ohio State should have just beaten the Wolverines. They were extremely favored in that game. However, when you put it, like I said, you stick a middle finger in somebody's face, they're going to slap your hand or slap you. That's just be prepared for that to possibly happen.